Volume check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me okay? Nini. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. How am I doing? That's a really loaded question. Asking how I'm doing. Very loaded of you. um, but good morning, good morning. I should still be asleep. Me too. My stream isn't going to be too long. Because I still have plans. I wasn't even gonna stream today, but I was like, I couldn't stream yesterday because of a family emergency, which we will be getting to in a moment. Is my tummy hurting? It was hurting a little. So the nice thing about being unemployed is that if your stomach hurts, you can just like go back to sleep, and if you go to sleep, you can't feel your stomach hurt. That's what I did. My tummy hurt, so I just went back to sleep. And now that I'm awake, I forgot that my tummy was hurting. Although really, these days I've had a very consistent morning routine, which is really good as well, because before that I used to be like mega super duper constipated, right? But Yuuna sounds so beautiful. I think you need to redefine your definition of beautiful. You have a tummy hurt and you're forced to work. Oh, you're the bravest soldier today, Yabi. You're the bravest. But yeah, no, I'm so sorry I couldn't stream yesterday. And then the new patch for Wuwa is today, and so I can't stream today, so I'll have to stream tomorrow. So I'll have another waiting room up for that in a tad bit. But oh gosh, okay. Now that we have we haven't gotten pleasantries out of the way. How are you guys doing this morning? How well did you sleep? Did you eat something delicious? Okay, now that we got that out of the way. My voice is a little hoarse. Hoarse? Yeah, my voice is a little hoarse because I was yelling at like 3 adults last night. Because God forbid you have the ability to speak over Vietnamese people. and so my throat really hurts, and I might sound a little croaky, but I promise you I am staying hydrated. But horse uba Yuuna. Shuki 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 Kimi ni aidoru Tsukun tsukun. Ate a little snack and just relaxing before work. Okay. Alright, okay. Where do I even begin? Where do I even start? I don't it's like this is so loaded. I don't even know where to start. Okay, alright. Okay. So okay, so as you guys know, my grandma isn't doing very well. There's a risk of like blood infection and stuff right now. My grandma's also abroad, like because when we tried bringing her to America, she was all like, "This place is dog shit. My food is unsalted, unseasoned, and has no soul." Right? So, my grandma also can't gamble as easily in Vietnam. In America, I guess, which is a bad thing, which is also like a good thing, but a bad thing to her. And apparently one of the biggest contributors to this is that my grandma, whenever there's spoiled food or food that's gone bad or moldy food, my grandma doesn't like to waste it. So she'll just cook it again at like a really high heat and then eat it because she's like cooking off the mold or something like that. So all of this basically led to her current health condition, which there's like gallstones, and I think there's like a possible blood infection, a bunch of other stuff. And it's hard to tell her not to do this because we aren't in Vietnam. And then my remaining aunt in Vietnam, my grandma like hates her for some reason because she believes that my aunt that she gave birth to is bad luck, or something along those lines. Um, so as you guys know, like my mom called me at like 6 a.m. in the morning, like 2 days ago, and was all like, "Oh, your grandma's sick," and so I am my mom's daughter, and I know my mom very well. So I was like, "All right, I believe her that my grandma is sick. However, she tends to exaggerate things and tends to give the wrong number when it comes to helping out family or sending money or anything." So I was like, let me go call my oldest aunt, who is kind of like in charge of like facilitating everything, like making sure my grandma is like making sure she's talking to my other aunt and like trying to make up a plan for my grandma. There is a lot of hate in your family. It runs deep. I too am a little hater. So because of that, my okay, so for more context, you guys are gonna need this context. My dad really hates my oldest aunt and my uncle because, as you guys know from all the stories I've told you about my dad has like an obsession with gender roles and femininity, Billy. Like, me growing up, a majority of my life was not being allowed to do things because it's not feminine enough. Like, my dad honestly never wanted me to even like bake or like, so it's like contradicting. Like, he wants the wife to be like cooking and like baking and that kind of stuff, but he didn't want me to be like a baker because he says that women should work in places that have like offices and are AC'd. Like, I know that's like a really strange thing to say, but that's like one of the things I remember my dad saying to me. And the thing about my dad like has this image that like as the man of the household, he is like in charge of the finances. He is in charge of providing for his family. So I, Nini Yuuna, have emasculated my dad multiple times. One by baking, and then two by by streaming, and three by paying for my sister's college, because in his eyes, he should be able to handle all of that. But I was like, you literally couldn't, and that's even why I'm doing any of this. Like, if you guys could have handled this, I wouldn't have been paying for the last 4 years. um and like, mind you, me, unemployed Yuuna, okay, has been paying for my sister's college, okay? Um, and this is really important for the rest of the story. And the other thing is, my uncle was honorably discharged from the military like a decade ago. And my uncle is like a mega crypto bro, but like a broke one. And he's always talking about like all of these games that he's coded and how he has like 1 million users interacting with it, blah 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 blah, but he doesn't have a job. And so because of that, my aunt works, I think my aunt works like 80-hour weeks basically to pretty much like take care of like him and her. And he's also like a shut-in, so he doesn't like to travel, but my aunt really loves to travel. He's like not very thoughtful at all. He's a very bad husband. Basically is all I'm getting here, okay? And one of the things also is that my aunt was supposed to divorce him maybe a month or so before my wedding. Yeah, my aunt works as a nurse for like the county jail, so she works like 80-hour weeks. And so they were supposed to get divorced, but then my uncle suddenly had a major heart complication and then also had surgery. So then my aunt felt bad and she moved. And I had this really sad conversation with my aunt where I was like, because my aunt's turning 60 soon, and I was just kind of like, I just don't get why you're still with him. Like, like, shouldn't you live your life without any regrets and like be happy? And my aunt was basically like, my aunt would basically be like, oh, I already have so many regrets in my life, and I've already experienced true love before in my life, and this is really sad. So this is like really low. So my aunt was in love with a man who lived in Japan, and I grew up with this man as well. Actually, I thought that they were gonna get married. I thought they were locked the fuck in. But my aunt had to break up with him because of my mom. Because basically, my grandma was all like, you're gonna let your younger sister go to America on her own and give birth without any support. You're a bad older sister. Oh, this is starting to sound kind of familiar, isn't it? Oh, my mom learns from the best. And basically, she kind of strong armed my aunt into leaving her entire life behind in Japan and going to America to help take care of me, which I have a lot of guilt for because my aunt did basically raise me, and which is why my sister also did turn out the way that she did because my aunt my aunt was all like, yeah, this is all you guys, this is your child, you guys figure this out, okay? To my mom and dad, because technically my birth father isn't my father. So my birth father is not in the picture, but my sister is from my dad and my mom currently. And so this also contributes to my I will never marry a Vietnamese man. Absolutely not. And so there's a lot to unpack here, but one of the things is my aunt basically is just living a very miserable life, and I feel very bad for her, and I just don't understand. With my mom and my aunt, they both have very miserable marriages, and I don't get it. And I don't know if this is just like Gen Z mindset, or maybe I'm too much of a man, you know? But for me, it's all like, if you don't want to do it, then just go. Like when I was fighting with my sister, and she was all like, "You don't have to deal with like them fighting all the time in front of you, and putting up with all the things they say and stuff." And I'm just like, "Yeah, because I moved out, cause you can." Like. And so when it comes to like all this, I'm also like, well, you clearly thought about leaving, and you did print out the papers, and you did try to leave, so just go. Because it's like one thing, right? If like there's still small children in the house, and like for the sake of family, even though that definitely never works out, you know. But in this scenario, my aunt and my uncle have no kids, and then me and my sister are already in our 20s. So I don't get it. I don't get it. And if anything, I think I get a little bit more mad at thinking about it, because my sister's excuse, and to my mom's excuse at a point as well, is that like, with what money, with like what support. And I'm like, me, you dumbass. I was like, I think I get really frustrated because when I had moved out of the house and I left my family and everything, I basically had nothing. I was a broke little 17-year-old almost college student. So now I'm all like, it is literally easier than ever for you to leave. But okay, sure, whatever. So my dad really hates my uncle, and he hates seeing my aunt, my uncle, because he thinks that my aunt is very unfeminine for working 80 hours a week and providing for the household. And she thinks that my uncle is a sad excuse of a man because he's been unemployed and he just sits there. And my uncle's also a chicken tender eater. Like, he only eats fast food. He doesn't like all that kind of stuff, you know? Thank you, Barky, for the 5 gift subs. I appreciate it. So I told you guys that like my mom really wants me to get divorced. Not because she hates my husband, but because she wants to tell me I told you so. Because she's all like, oh, if you're not enough of a woman, if you're not taking care of your man, if like he finds someone younger and prettier, if you don't lose weight, blah 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 blah, your husband's gonna leave you. This is like how my mom is, and she's like, oh, you'll see one day. And I'm always like, why do you want me to see one day? And then my mom's like, no, I don't want you to see one day, but I want you to see one day. And I'm all like, so you want me to see one day so you can tell me that I told you so, even though it's crazy levels of spite. And you guys wonder where I get my spite from. Speaking of spite, my husband fucked up last night. So you guys remember how I had like multiple streams where I was like complaining about couples that have poor planning and then book their seats apart from each other? my husband forgot to select our seats on our flight to Japan, and now all the seats are booked out, and we're in different seats. And I think I need to kill him. I think I need to, because I'm not going to ask to switch seats. It's not happening. I'm gonna kill him. Anyway, so going back to the story. So as you guys know, I had a maybe your mom has a point. There are no police 30,000 feet in the air. My mom counts on, yeah. So there are many things that I've learned about marriage, right? Which is like one of the things is that like I should not be telling my mom what we're up to, because my mom will take that into her own imagination and have this image. So going on the story. Basically, my dad really hates my aunt and my uncle. And my dad's family also has a long history of BPD, bipolar, anger issues, and high cholesterol. This, you can imagine how his siblings are, and my cousins, and my dad. And so this is where everything begins. So remember, I had called my aunt, my oldest aunt, to pretty much tell them kind of like, hey, so what's going on with grandma? Like, does she need to be moved to hospitals? Because I think they were picking between like an expensive hospital and a cheaper hospital. And I was like, how much is this going to possibly cost? You know, how many people are contributing? And I didn't explicitly say that like, we'll send so and so amount of money. Like, it was one of those things that where if my husband said no to sending money, I would have just accepted it. Because if you guys don't know, I went no contact with my mom previously, like for 4 months, because we were on a trip to Vietnam together, and she basically was like trying to brag to everybody back home about how much my husband makes, and was asking for a ton of money, and was really stupid with the money, and she insulted my husband, which is where I drew the line, because my mom spent 26 years insulting me. I don't really care that much at this point, but I was all like, you make my husband cry, we're done. Because then she was all like, I feel really bad for you. You should go get a job as soon as possible, because I can see in your future that your husband will financially abuse you. And I was like, technically, I'm pretty sure I financially abuse him. But okay, mom, whatever. And so we had gone to. So after that, I had like stopped talking to my mom for a bit, and then my mom kind of got to the point of where she was all like, "Oh, I can't be too crazy, because if I'm too crazy, Yuuna will stop talking to me." And I was like, "Oh, you got it, you did it." And so because of that, we've had some pretty straightforward conversations, for the better or worse. Like, if you watch my stream from a couple days ago when I first came back from Texas, I was all like, wow, my mom just really has like the audacity to like respond to like everything, you know. So I've called my mom out on this. I'm literally like, you always worry about how you look to other people. When are you ever going to actually worry about me? When are you ever going to let me live my life the way it is? Like, shouldn't you be happy for me? Because my mom was all like, oh, you need to go back to school, and you need to go get a job, because like telling people that like you're unemployed is like hard. And I was all like, shouldn't you be grateful that I found a husband that takes really good care of me and lets me pursue my passions in baking and cooking and streaming, and letting me take my time getting a job, you know? And so it's one of these things where it's a lot. And so, but my mom, like, she loves like bragging about how much my husband makes and what company he works for, and I'm just like, literally, like, why does any of that matter? Like, nobody here cares. Like, so going back to the story, I sat down with my husband, and I kind of was like, hey hun, like, I totally get it if because obviously he's supporting me entirely, and we have trips planned, and we have like friends come out and everything, that kind of stuff. So I was kind of like, do you think we have any like extra cash on hand to just help out my grandma, right? Like, in this case, normally when my husband wants when my mom asks for help, we can't help her directly, because if we send the money to my mom, we don't know where the money goes. But in this scenario, it'd be sending it to my aunt, and it's for a surgery that we know is going to happen. So we were more than willing to help. And my husband was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, we'll send some and we'll help cover some of the costs and stuff. I was really grateful. And so that was like the end of that, right? The next day, my mom calls me, and I didn't call her back to tell her that like I sent money or whatever, because it's not her business, I guess. Like, whatever. And I also just didn't want her to, because this is you know why all of this started? It's because my mom started bragging. That is what happened. So essentially my mom calls me the next day, and then she's all like, oh, I send you photos and texts that your grandma is sick, and then you just look the other way. And I get pissed because I'm all like, what the fuck? I literally sent money. Like, I called my aunt after that, and we helped out. And my mom was like, oh, I didn't know you did that. And I was like, yeah, because why does it matter whether I did that or not? And so then my mom, because remember, my mom technically never apologized to my husband after the no contact stuff from last year. And so she just kind of, because I told you guys, like one day, like a week before my birthday, my mom suddenly calls me, and I was like, okay, you want to talk now? You want to be an adult now? And my mom was all like, talk about what? There's something to talk about? And I was like, okay, if you want to play dumb, I guess I can also play dumb. Because for those 4 months, she refused to refer to my husband by like his name. She would only call him like that guy or like your husband. But then suddenly, like before my birthday, everything was fine again. Whatever. And we had gone home as well for the first time in like 2 years back in like February. But so anyway, my mom, and so I tell my mom, I'm all like, we already sent the money. I like talked to my aunt already. Like, it's like, don't be like that, right? And then my mom proceeds to go, oh, you guys sent money? Like, you sent money, or like your husband sent money? And I was like, obviously my husband sent the money. Like, we have our joint fight, whatever, right? And then my mom was like, oh, but like, I don't want to owe him anything. And I get pissed at this point because I'm all like, you don't owe anyone anything. This money is not for you. This money is for grandma, who is literally dying back in Vietnam for her surgery, okay? And then my mom was like, yeah, but like, was he happy about it? And I was like, in what world is anybody ever happy like losing money, right? That doesn't fucking matter. Stop thinking about it that way. Because so the biggest problem that my mom has with my husband is that even though my husband will pay for meals, even though my husband will like pay for their flights if they come visit or like whatever we can help with, she hates that my husband is not smiling and like skipping through like the grass and like cheerful that he is spending this money. I don't understand. Like, I tried to dig deep down on this to be like, why do you feel the way that you do? But that's like her biggest compliment. She hates it if my husband is spending money on them and doesn't look happy about it, which is, I really don't get it. I really do not understand it, you guys. Yeah, it's a very odd thing, right? And so I'm kind of telling her, I was like, stop talking, stop trying to talk about this. Okay, we already sent the money. We are helping out. Do not view him in that way. Who is ever happy like losing money? Like, no, but the thing about my mom is that she's actually really funny. Like, my mom is like really, really funny. And I think that's where I get my humor from, honestly. My mom, like, when we get along, says the most out-of-pocket shit ever, and I think it's hilarious. And so, but that also might be a coping mechanism. I'm fairly certain as well. So anyway, we had the conversation with my mom, and I tell my mom, I'm like, there's like words to say for this, right? It's called thank you. And so my mom was like, yeah, like thanks and stuff, and I just tell her like, hey, I'm busy, like, I gotta go, and so I hang up, right? Not even like 10 minutes later, okay, my sister sends me a text, and my sister is all like, oh my god, you have to call dad, and because he is yelling at mom and he won't stop. And I was all like, what the fuck does dad have to do with any of this? Like, what is going on here? Like, why am I being dragged into this, right? Turns out my mom, okay, for more context, my mom did explicitly ask, if you guys can help out, I think grandma would really appreciate it. Okay, and for more context, we don't send money to my grandma directly because she
has gotten scammed before, and she put the family like $75,000 into debt, and she almost lost both of her properties because she's very easy to get scammed, because she thinks that like every time she gets scammed, it's like giving her a higher chance to go to heaven, or Buddha will reincarnate her because it's good karma because she's doing something for someone. Anyway, for context, we've like locked down all of my grandma's finances, like anything that she needs paid for, her bills, her medication, any kind of stuff. We just pay for it directly, but we never give her money because we don't know what the fuck happens with that money. Huh? Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Doesn't this kind of sound familiar? So anyway, my mom then proceed. My dad comes home from work, and my mom says some shit. It's like, wow, like, did you hear, like, Hub Nini, like, sent some money for grandma because he cares about her? And I was like, okay, realistically, he sent it because he cares about me. But sure, okay, yeah, whatever you want to believe, okay? And my dad proceeds to go, why the fuck did you ask them for money? Do you think this is something that I can't handle as a man of the house? This is an adult issue. And like, why are you dragging the kids? And then like they go back and forth. And then my mom calls me to call my dad. And I was like, I really don't want to, but if he's yelling at both you and my sister, I guess I will give him a call. So I call him. And he's kind of like, actually he calls me. And his voice is not raised at this point yet. Like it's a pretty normal conversation. No. We'll get to that point, Tart. We're getting there. Don't spoil it yet. And so at this point, my dad calls me and he's like, hey, do you have some time to talk? Can I talk to you? And I was like, yeah, Dad, what's up? And he's all like, hey, I heard that you and your husband sent some money, and you don't need to be doing that. Like, this is something that the adults should be taking care of, and like, you have your own family to think about, and like, living in California is really, really hard and stuff. And so I'm telling, okay, so this is why my parents think that we're broke. We don't want to buy a house, and we don't want to have kids. So like, that's why my family thinks that we're financially struggling. But I was all like, if we did those things, then we would be financially struggling. Anyway, no, so my dad, like I mentioned, has a mindset of like, man of the household, has to take care of everything. Like, the only time my dad has ever slapped me in my adulthood, because normally if I ever got hit, it was my mom. My dad like does not touch me. But the only time that I ever got smacked was, I think, when I was 18, 19. No. I think I was 21 already. My mom and dad were stressing out about the phone bill and the car insurance. And at that point, I was streaming and I was working and everything. And so I had told him, I was all like, oh, if your dad's stressed out about it, I don't mind paying for my own phone bill and the car insurance. Like, I make enough for it. But unless it's like an office job, and unless I had a like degree, my dad doesn't view any money that I make as like money, even though they really love using it still, apparently. And so my dad like smacked me because he was all like, why are you undermining me as a man of the household? Like, I've raised you since you were a baby. Do you think I can't just take care of your flimsy phone bill and stuff? And I was like, but you were just complaining. What? I've only been hit 3 times in my adulthood by like any family member. So it's like fine. And that was like when I was still like 21, 22. I haven't been hit since then, don't worry, you guys. But anyway, so my dad respects my husband because my husband makes more money than him. But because of that, my dad also expects me to like kiss my husband's feet and like serve his every whim. And because I told you the type of person that my dad is that he'll come home and he'll tell my mom, he'll be like, why the fuck did you cook fish? I don't even like fish. Also, like, wow, you seasoned this really poorly. Even though he hasn't like cooked in like 10 years, except he loves to bring up like, yeah, remember that one time I made you fried rice when you were really sick? It was really, really delicious, right? And I mentioned that one of the times that my dad has ever like, the very first time that my dad blew up in front of my husband was because my dad told my mom, I don't want to eat. And so when he was getting ready to go out for a smoke break, my mom invited my husband to eat first because my husband was hungry. And then because my mom offered my husband food before she offered my dad food, even though my dad didn't want to eat, he's like, you are disrespecting me as the provider of this household. Like, I can't believe you're giving another man food. But yeah, sometimes when my mom's a little bit crazy, I just think to myself, yeah, maybe she's the way she is because of the way my dad is, you know. And so anyway, going back to the story. So my dad like respects my husband a lot, and he's basically kind of like, you guys don't need to do that, you know, like you have your own family to think of. And I was like, yeah, so you do realize that we're legally like married, which means that he's my husband, which means that he's your son-in-law, which means that he's also family. Like, no, and you think I'm exaggerating with how slowly I'm saying this. This is exactly how I said it to him to make sure that he really understood it. I was all like, we are not getting impacted by helping out. Like, we made sure that we were in a place to help out. And then my dad basically was all like, okay, I appreciate you guys, but you guys need to go get the money back. And we all was like, well, we already sent it. Like, I don't know what you want from us. And he's like, go call your aunt, because he doesn't want to call my aunt. And so I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't care anymore. So I call my mom back, who proceeds to put me on speakerphone right when my dad walks in. Right when I'm telling her, yeah, so dad wants me to send the money, get the money back. What do you want me to do? Then my dad starts to go, why did you even ask her for money in the first place? Like, do you have no shame? Like, she has her own family. And then my mom was all like, is her grandma not her family? And then this is like a 2-hour fight at this point that I hang up the phone on because I have the ability to do that. I don't live there anymore. I can hang up. I have a clip of the argument for you guys, but I don't know if you guys actually want to hear angry Vietnamese yelling. Honestly, whenever I speak Vietnamese, it's like quite cute, and I like shield you guys from like the Vietnamese yelling. But if you guys do want to hear it by the end of this stream, I can show you a snippet of it, but you definitely will have to lower the volume quite a bit. And so they're going back and forth, and at this point, I'm still on the phone, and I'm catching strays. At this, cause at first my dad was angry at my mom, right? And then my dad was angry at my aunt. And then my dad was angry that I went behind his back to call my aunt instead of calling my dad. And I was like, because you didn't tell me that grandma was sick. I heard it from my aunt. And then suddenly he goes, she's unemployed and you're asking her for money. And I was like, ouch. I still make money. And then my mom was, and this is the first time that I've ever heard like my mom like defend, like, because my mom has always been like, go back to school to get like a full-time job and like be employed, right? In this case, my mom was like, do you think she has like no money? You know, she still works and she still bakes and she still streams. And I was like, huh. It's actually quite nice of her to say. While they're both like yelling at each other, right? And then my sister's like in between all of them, and she's like, hey, you guys, like break it up, like go shower, go eat dinner, and all that kind of stuff, right? And my dad said the most out of pocket shit that even had me like flabbergasted. My dad was all like, all your daughter knows how to do is spend other people's money, and I was all like, well, yeah, I guess if you count my chat as other people and my husband, but I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. I was like, you're the one spending people's okay, sure, whatever. No, at this point, everybody's catching strays, even you guys, okay? And so, like, it gets to a point where my dad just kind of, like, is repeating himself as kind of like, you going behind my back, like, this is an adult's matter, like, you... And this is where I call them and I get pissed. Because I was like, my husband is in his 30s, okay? And I'm not censoring that on purpose, because I don't want to tell you guys his age. I can't remember how old he is. last night we were booking stuff for our Japan trip, and I'm going with like my childhood like normie best friend who does not use Discord or anything like that, and we've been friends for 15 years, and we were booking like one of our flights, and my husband was like, "When is her birthday?" And I sat there, and I was like, "You're lucky I even remember yours, okay? Let's not ask for too much right now." And then I also was all like, I am 26. Like, you cannot call me a child anymore. Like I told my mom, I was like, no more of this bullshit like adult problem and child problem, okay? I was like, if you guys have the audacity to ask me to have your grandkid every single time I come home, then I am no longer a kid. Because can a kid have a fucking kid? Okay, so shut the fuck. Like I was over it. I'm not good with numbers. I'm also not good with like birthdays. I'm really not. You're old. If you think I'm old, then you're too young to be in this chat right now. Every time I call myself old, everyone in my chat starts yelling at me and throwing bananas and going boo, boo. Yeah, so at this point, I'm just telling my mom, I was like, no more of this bullshit, right? Like, can you guys just be fucking grateful? You know, like I hate that you guys always bring this up. Like, we're sending what we can because we can. Like, no more of this, right? And so, my dad's still like angry at this point. But the thing about my dad is, every single time he blows up like this, like he's okay like 10 minutes later, and he just like, oh, but honestly, my mom was also rage baiting him though. Like, as angry as my dad was, my mom was also rage baiting him, because then she had my aunt on the speakerphone, and then my aunt was yelling at my dad for being rude as fuck, and then my dad was like, why are you still on the phone with her, and why are you calling her? And my mom was like, it's because you were being mean first. So yeah, in the end, my aunt said, thank you, I'm sorry your dad's incapable. My mom sent me, I'm sorry. And she also sent me thank you. And I was losing my shit. And then Pancake was all like, this is fucked up. The world is ending tomorrow and I'm still single. So yeah, that was my family emergency yesterday while I wasn't able to stream. So very sorry for that. Any questions, concerns, any follow-up before I show you guys a clip of them yell? Yeah, no, but I had to yell at them. I had to yell back because they wouldn't fucking hear me otherwise. Did you have any good food? I had an amazing dinner yesterday. Or was it the day before? Or something like that. Oh, no, it was yummy. When is the meteor? I don't know. No questions, lots of concerns. It's a miracle you turned out. Right? Right? Like, honestly, I don't think you guys are grateful enough with how normal I turned out. But yeah, so I was on my sister's phone, and then my aunt was on my mom's phone, and then my dad was, yeah, so... No need to apologize, you seem to have suffered alright. No, it was just kind of ridiculous to me, honestly. Like, the whole thing was really... At the end of the day, the only person I felt bad for really was my sister. Like, yeah, no, she is still home and she does have to deal with that. And she couldn't go get dinner because my dad was in the kitchen and she didn't want to go down to the kitchen. So I could be so much worse. I really can though. But yeah. Good morning stream. Good morning stream. Thank God your own ego is kept in check by your anxiety. Hey, you're not supposed to say it out loud like that. Hey. I hope things works out. My family will always be the way they are. I just think it's a miserable way to live. Like, ultimately, whenever my mom gets on one of her like tirades with me, I'm just all like, yeah, you live the way you do and I live the way I do. So who's really winning? And then the biggest thing is that my mom and my dad have a complex about my husband looking down on them, especially they need money. And I was all, you should have thought about that before I gave you 15K like a couple years ago. And then you also should have thought about that before arguing in front of him, and treating me the way that you guys do. I literally was all like, you don't need to worry about him looking down on you from this experience when he already looks down on how you guys act as adults. Don't worry, it's okay, mom. It's fine. It's aight.
there is a Goldilocks zone where you have to be just crazy enough for me to have a chance, and I missed out on that. So F your parents for traumatizing you both a little too much and too little. But yeah, no, it really is such a miserable way to live. I just don't get it. But maybe my entire mindset that has like kept me alive the last 26 years has just been the epitome of, yeah, just don't do it. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything else guys to talk. No, I can't play Star Stand today. This literally was just like a very short Zatsu stream because I felt bad about not being able to stream yesterday. And I need a trauma dump to you guys when it's fresh on my mind. Otherwise, I forget all like the really like out of pocket shit they say. And then new Wuwa story tomorrow. I stream tomorrow. Too busy. What else is there? Anyway, what are you guys having for lunch today? I love catching Yuna's story time, even as a trauma dump. It's not like too much trauma anymore, to be clear. I call it a trauma dump, but honestly, I'm pretty unaffected by all this, which shows my character growth. So I feel like after all this, normally I'm like a sniffling mess and I'm crying, but in this case, I was kind of like, you guys are too old to be acting like this, literally. Oatmeal? I always go into like an oatmeal phase, but I get tired of oatmeal really easily as well. Thank you for the super chat, I appreciate it. End of the day, my parents just... Everyone needs therapy. And everyone needs to get over themselves. Like, you know, if my dad was hanging off of a cliff, and the person reaching out to him was like a woman, he'd probably just throw himself off the cliff. Or like if my dad was like starving. Oh, if my mom and dad were starving and they haven't eaten for a whole week, but then like if there were like $10 on the ground, they wouldn't pick it up. What isn't necessary for lunch? But I love turkey, pesto, and bread. That's like the best combo ever. You're feeling under the weather, so nothing but water. Wow, that's actually... Okay, that's not healthy of you, but it's kind of healthy for you. Because whenever I'm under the weather, I just eat like crazy. It's the one from Costco. Hey, Costco sells pesto! Okay, I'll go check this weekend at Costco. I didn't know they had that. You're eating tacos with pastor. I love lingua tacos so much. Worst things you can do. You're gonna have a rose cubana. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. Oh, I'm hungry now. Honestly, I can stream for a bit. I just need to get ready to head out like around like 12-1ish. So I can stream for like another like hour maybe. But honestly, I'm pretty one-track minded. So if I go into a stream going on like, yeah, I'm gonna trauma dump to them and nothing else, now I have nothing else for you guys. You've never seen Costco pesto? No, I've seen Costco pesto. I haven't seen the Costco turkey and pesto croissant. Unless you're saying that you made your own. Any weekend plans? I had weekend plans, and now they're all jumbled, and there's a lot going on because I'm an adult with responsibilities. But I'll be gone for most of the weekend. You've been craving some sushi? Me too. I hate to be like, but Japan. But honestly, outside of Japan, eating sushi is such a waste. Like, it's so expensive, and it's not even that good. He found 200 on the ground once while walking through a park. There was nobody else around and I kinda needed it. Wow, I've only ever at most seen like $10 on the ground. And it wasn't even like I saw it. My husband saw it, pointed at it, and then I picked it up. I'm making a drum. Oh, it's very sweet of you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, it's a new food court thing. Oh, Tonya tried the chocolate mint sundae and it was so gross. I was like, ooh. Um, but yeah, for food today, I'm going to an Irish pub. I'm very excited. As you guys know, I've been really into being Irish recently. I really like Irish pub food. Um, and then I'm gonna get ass blasted tonight with my friend because it's been a while. Mm-mm. But yeah, so I'll be streaming tomorrow, probably twice, I think. I want to stream in the morning and then I want to stream in the evening. One's gonna be Woowa, one's probably gonna be Dredge or Farmy or something like that. I'm at a very Irish phase of my life right now. I want cabbage rolls and Scotch eggs and shepherd's pie and a pint. Um, I was gonna say Yuna's about to get hammered. Yeah, especially because I haven't had alcohol in a while, so I probably will get hammered. I'm at an acceptance stage of grief since I can't make it to your meet and greet time slot for White Day. No, cut it! I was counting on you. I was all like, do I even have? Oh, speaking of my meet and greet, I have a meet and greet on White Day, at Gamers Heaven, and so I may or may not have baked goodies there, and I may or may not give out my family secret recipes if you have a meet and greet with me. Hiccup. Do you guys hate me? You want my dad? No. Are you gonna be there? Thinking about it. I'm gonna try to see. The timing's a little bit tight, but honestly, I should be able to do it. If it was the last time slot, I'd have a chance. I'm gonna feel FOMO for that. How about this? If you guys still buy a meet and greet ticket, and you show me proof that you buy a meet and greet ticket, even if you're not there, I'll have a call with you. I'll have a 5-minute call with you, and I'll give you the family recipe. You already bought yours. Nice, nice, nice. I'm gonna be missing you while you're at the meet and greet. Wait, please, me too. I can't make it. You buy a ticket and then send me proof that you did. Although I feel like this is a bit of a hack, but I normally end up with. I don't have too many. I have viewers and fans in the Bay Area, but not like so many to buy out all of the tickets. So, I hate that that's tempting. Well. Okay, if you guys do it, just do it the day before the meet and greet, so that if anybody does want to get it, they can get it. But other than that, I think it should be fine. I don't think I have that many people that can come see me in the Bay anyway. Everyone's kind of traveling right now, or busy, or working. So, buy one and double it for the next person. Wow. Wait, so there are like things I haven't done in my 6 years of streaming because I just think to myself, I can monetize on this one day or another. But I didn't realize that like having people pay for a meet and greet to get like recipes from me was like a hack that I could have been using this entire time. Don't worry, I'm unemployed. Should I see if my friends want one even if they don't know you? I don't know if you want to bring your friends around Nini Yuuna, but if you think they would, then go ahead. The merch is pretty cute. The coasters and stuff is pretty cute. The problem with trauma dumping though is I get really hungry afterwards. Like, so for some reason, like dumping all of my emotions onto a stream, like I'm starving. Maybe I'll have ochazuki later for Just sell a Yuuna cookbook at this point. You know how hard it is to find a publisher and then find someone to design the cover and then a photographer? Am I going out for lunch? No. They want me to, but I don't. No. Oh, I need to remember to pack a portable battery later and stuff as well. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Let me see. Give me a second.
I'm trying. Sometimes I write down notes on things that I should talk to you guys about, and then I forget that I wrote down notes about it. So I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting I can see. The only other thing I can do is read out my. Have you guys seen the article that won $75,000 of the Asian woman writing about how much sex she was having with her white boyfriend? Did you guys see it? I actually read a bit of it, and I literally wasted my time. It was terrible. It was awful, you guys. I literally was. Is that real? It was. This is and I think someone was all like, okay, I feel like I can say this as an Asian person. Okay? But I saw this tweet that was like, Asians have really boring lives, and that's why they can't write about anything other than how weird tofu smelled growing up or whatever generational trauma their parents put them through. And I was all like, huh. They're right, because as you guys know, I've been quite literate recently. And not to knock on these books, because I have read a couple of them that I think are really well written. But there are a lot of Asian childhood trauma, memoir, autobiography books that always have to do with something about kimchi or H Mart or whatever stinky fermented food they did growing up. And it's like normally like in the title. It's like in the title. Like I remember I was at the airport and there was this bookstore. It was a really cute bookstore. Honestly, not to be biased, but SFO really is the best airport ever. And if anyone disagrees with me, you just haven't been to SFO. But I remember it's tofu. Yeah, no, I guess like if tofu smells funny, then it's probably gone bad. But yeah, no, it was like one of those things of where kimchi does carry the flavor of deep-seated emotions. Kimchi is a labor of love, you guys. As someone who has to help a Korean family make kimchi every year now, that's just a labor of love. SFO should explode. I think you should explode. SFO is the best ever. But anyway, I think I was less miffed about the topic that the girl wrote for, because it's all like, yeah, I wrote random traumatizing shit for my college essay, whatever gets you money, or into school. But I was more miffed by how someone could be going to Stanford and still write like an 8th grader. Like, that's been my biggest thing ever since I got back into reading. Like, it's just all like, wow, like, modernly, there's a lot of books that feel like it's either written by an illiterate person or written for, like, 8th graders. And it's really frustrating. Like, at this point, unless the book is, like, a bit older, I don't fucking believe in recommendations from people. Especially people on, like, YouTube Shorts or TikTok, because, God, most of them are freaking unreadable. I can't. But SFO got me walking forever, bro. But okay, if you want to walk forever, you need to go to Hobby, like the Houston airport. Like, you actually will be walking forever. You'll probably walk into the fucking back rooms. But yeah, it's like one of those things where I only find the appeal in listening to crazy family stories if it's not something that I've gone through myself. Like, I feel like when I read relatable things, it's like kind of like whatever to me. Like, I feel like if I read a relatable thing, it's kind of like yeah, that's rough, man. You know? But then when you read something really, really, really crazy, your reaction is now, holy shit, what the fuck, man? But hold on, I'm gonna drink some more water real quick. Sorry, I yapped too much, so. Let me see. Salt Lake has a lot of walking too. I think apparently the best airport, like in terms of like they've actually won like rewards for it, is
the Atlanta airport. Like, I've seen the Atlanta airport on many, 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 many lists. I've only been to the Atlanta airport once for a layover, but I didn't get to really go around it and stuff. Ooh. Atlanta is crazy. Crazy in the good way or crazy in the bad way. You left your waiting room up and it doesn't lead to an hour. I checked to make sure the speakers were muted. I came back to your voice coming out of my speakers. My office knows you now. Oh, you're fucking cooked, man. Especially because... Okay, I only talked about constipation and I talked about... family trauma. But I did mention, like, white man sex a couple minutes ago. So, I think you're cooked. Portland Airport frequently wins awards too. Oh man, the Chicago? No, Colorado? Oh fuck. Which one's next to Omaha, you guys? The Phoenix Airport also is pretty mid too. And then I went to, I think it was Colorado. No, Chicago. Chicago, right? Chicago? Everything about Phoenix is mid. Oh yeah, when I thought my flight was gonna get canceled and I was gonna get stuck in Phoenix, I actually had a meltdown. I was all like, what do you mean I'm fucking wasting a whole day in Phoenix? Yeah, no, SFO is like the best ever. LAX is a fucking nightmare. My very first time traveling solo was to LAX and I thought I was going to die. Everything about LAX is terrible, horrible, and I would not even wish it upon my worst enemies. Actually, I would. If my enemies are in LA taking LAX, they deserve it. Man. That's what I'm saying. A lot of you guys, like, may think to yourself, man, I wish I had Yuuna as my wife. I wish I had a streamer wife. I don't even think any of you guys could last even like an hour with my parents. Like, really? I'm really lucky my husband puts up with their shit. I already gave him a chance to do a take backsies. I already gave him a chance to leave me before it gets too bad, and he doubled down. So at this point, anything that my parents put him through, it's his fault. Victim blaming, just like my parents. I learned from the... Oh man. But honestly, sometimes I really hate, like, I really want to believe that I'm different from my parents and I'm better than my parents, but sometimes I say or do things I'm all like, oh, I know where I got that from. Whoops. Yeah, no, it really is one of those things of where it's all like, I legitimately thought it was better for me to be single for the rest of my life than have anybody subjected to my parents. Well, okay, actually, I probably would have gotten no contact with my parents. But the only reason why I haven't yet is my sister still lives at home. Like, this would have been a very different scenario if I was an only child. If I was an only child, my feelings wouldn't get hurt by a kid. Because I thought my sister was really mean when she was 18. But she's really mean now at 20, you guys. I'm not ready for it. When you talk about them, my ego tells me I can counter rage bait. Morning, trauma sufficiently dumped. I think we trauma dumped quite a bit. It was a really ridiculous dump, but it was indeed a dump. But yeah, I did finally set up my OBS though, so that dual streaming should be a little bit less of a struggle now. It was a little bit of a struggle previously, but it's okay now. It's okay now. But yeah, I'll be streaming again tomorrow morning, and I'll be streaming in the evening. So 2 streams tomorrow, and I'll be gone all of Saturday, and then I'll be streaming on Sunday. It's not the worst it's been. Still sucks you went through it. It's one of those things where it's just all like, I just can't comprehend what could have possibly made my mom and dad this way. I think that's like the hardest thing that I like struggle with, definitely. It's just like how... Because, you know, I feel like a lot of people with ego, unfortunately, have like something to back it up with.
But in this case, my parents have nothing to back it up with. So I just like don't get it. Like it's really like mind-boggling to me. Honestly, I really wish that like this is still in the 2000s, and then we can get random TV men people to come into our house and then film our daily lives. And have like a psychologist study this or whatever. I think it'd be like pretty litty, honestly. But yeah. Having nothing to back it up just pushes them to double down, unfortunately. Yeah, no, the crazy thing, hold on, let me go find it. Like, at some point, my parents like tripled down. Or like, oh, doubled down, tripled down. Ah, okay, so, during the argument that was happening, right? My mom, oh wait, this is, okay. So, like I mentioned, we don't send money to my grandma directly because what happens is that my grandma gives that money to somebody, and then because she now no longer has the money that we gave her to use on whatever she needed for, she goes borrow money from someone else, and then she tells that person that she'll pay them back double, because this is the same grandma that signed the paper that was all like, you will sell this house to us that is worth $1.2 million for $400K, and if you do a take back, you owe us double of what we gave you as a down payment. Okay, and so that's why we don't give my grandma money directly. This is a really, my parents have the most like nonsensical, like at some point they were fighting for the love of the game. Like at some point they were fighting just to fight, you guys, and it was really funny, honestly. Like I can say it's funny because I wasn't there, but I can also maybe say it's funny because it was kind of a cope. But essentially what happened was okay, so my dad regularly sends money to his grandma or his mom who lives in Texas with them. He also sends money to his aunts and uncles back in Vietnam as well when they need it, okay? So my mom starts yelling at my dad of being like, I didn't tell her to send any money. She wanted to send some money to help out her grandma. Why are you against her doing that? And then my dad was all like, because this is not her problem. If she wants to go send money to grandma, she can just send a couple hundred. And then I think my dad found out that we sent more money than he did, which made him even more upset because we were emasculating him. And at this point, my mom was all like, you send money all the time. You know, my bitch cousin gives her grandma money all the time. Why is it so terrible that I'm sending money for my grandma's surgery? And then my dad was all like, no, that's different. I grew up with them. And then my mom was all like, what the fuck do you mean? Yuuna also grew up with her grandma. And then my dad was all like, yeah, but that's my family. And then my mom was like, yeah, Yuuna's fucking blood related to her grandma. That's also her family. And I was like, what the hell is this argument? And so then my mom was all like, oh, then my dad triples down, and then he was all like, fine, since clearly you can handle it, I won't be contributing any money at all. And then my mom was all like, oh, we already have all the money that we need for this surgery. And then my dad was all like, oh, because you went behind my back and you're using your daughter. And then I was all like, yeah, out of all the times that you guys were using me, and I wish that you stood up for me, I don't think this is one of those times. Oh my god. What the fuck? You can be related to multiple people at once? No, that's what I'm saying. I think they were just fighting for the love of the game, you guys. Like, this argument made no sense at all. Like, I think they were just fighting to fight. And then the worst part is that after they've... but then, like, I think the hard thing about it is that, like, in the end, my mom still called me back and gave in to my dad. Like, I wish she would stand her fucking ground because she was like, yeah, your dad's right. You know, he has a point. You know, like, he's a little bit crazy sometimes, but he loves you. And I told her to stop. I don't want to hear it. Oh, right. Okay, you guys want to hear it? Okay, raise, lower the volume. Okay. It is a bit loud. So, because you guys might be wondering, damn, Yuuna, how loud did you have to, like, yell on the phone for your parents to hear you? And I was like, pretty damn loud. And the funniest thing about the argument is that you can also hear my aunt on the phone yelling back at my dad. I'll try to live translate for you guys, but I'm not the greatest at live translating, I think.
Chị nghe nè, chị coi thường rồi em một. Em coi thường chị tôi luôn.
So my dad's saying like, hold up. So
Chị nó coi là thường thì em mới coi thường chị á.
so my dad is all like, oh, you're not looking down on me. I'm looking down on you to my
Chị
aunt.
nghe nè, chị coi thường thì em một. Em coi thường chị tôi luôn.
My dad's basically like, if you look down on me by 1, I'll look down at you times 10. That's my sister saying stop.
Không có giờ phải coi.
My mom's saying that my dad's being really rude right now. And my dad's all like, what rude? I'm just telling the truth. And then my aunt was all like, has he been talking to you like this the entire fucking time? And then my mom was like, yeah, he's been talking this entire time. He's being mean to me.
Không đúng hả?
And then my dad was all like, am I wrong to be acting this way?
Chị nói tôi cắt nhưng mà chị nói tôi không được quyền.
And so my mom was like, oh, nobody's allowed to help out our mom, even me, even you. Only my dad's allowed to help her, something like that.
Ủa trách nhiệm nó thuộc về nó hả? Trách nhiệm nó thuộc về chị chứ mà.
And then they're like, oh, this is a trách nhiệm. It's like trách nhiệm là gì đây? It's like, oh, your duty. It's like oh, it's not her duty to help out her grandma. It's our duty as like the adults is basically what he's saying. And then my mom was all like, she sent that money out of her own will and out of her own decision. So why are you making a big deal out of it?
Nó không bỏ tiền, anh bỏ tiền cho nó.
And then my dad was all like, if she didn't put money in, I would have put the money in for her. Like her as in like me. And then we were like, why can't you just also contribute money alongside everybody else? Why does it have to be like, if I don't give them money, then you will give them money? This is where they're talking about how I still make money and okay, this part was my dad rage baiting me. My parents do not make a lot of money. I literally do their taxes. I see how much money they make. And so this is the argument of where they're like, why do you keep talking about your daughter as if she didn't make money? She made more money than you did last year. And my dad's all like, oh, 75K, that's so much money, huh? And then I was telling my mom, because my mom was basically, she was all like, oh, your dad has a point, you know? It's all like your husband, like he makes like the money to take care of you, he makes like so much, but so much of it goes into like your like life and like taking care of yourselves and everything. And I told her, okay, if dad's whole complex is that he wants me to make more money than my husband and that's when he will accept my money, I'm telling you now, there is no lifetime where I will ever make more money than him, okay?
Em nghĩ cái cuộc sống đó là mới nói bao nhiêu tiền.
So basically my aunt's defending me right now and saying that like I still have like a livelihood, I still like work really hard, like I still like do like a lot of things and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then this is my dad saying so my dad was like yelling at my aunt and he was all like, did you raise her? Did you raise her? And my aunt was like, quite literally, yes, I did, because my mom had to go to school for like cosmetology to learn how to do nails. And my dad was working all the time. And so my aunt did raise me. That's the only reason why she left her partner in Japan and came to America. And so my mom's basically like, oh, that is her business if she sends money for grandma's surgery. Like, why are you involving yourself in this or whatever? And so my dad's like, fine, she can be your family and just your family. And but then he's also saying that he raised me and I'm his daughter. So am I his family or not? I'm getting strays again for being unemployed in this portion.
Cô nói chuyện với chị rồi. Ok, em làm âm tắt đi. Chị có nói. Cười quá. Chị vậy cái mặt đó chị dài nhìn mặt cái thằng.
And then there was also my sister was like recording for me all the time. Yeah. My aunt can be a little bit crazy too. Let's get that straight. My aunt is a very nice person, but she also is a little bit crazy sometimes. But no, I'm not. But I've said my fucking name on stream before. I don't really give a shit.
But yeah. So that was a snippet of that argument. Yeah. There was like a really there. Let me just find the stray that I got from like my dad being all like this one. Hold up.
Rồi em còn muốn gì nữa?
And then this is where this is my mom going all like, my mom was like, why does it matter whether Yuuna sends money or not? Why are you just finding a reason to fight? These days you just find so many reasons to fight. Like you're just picking fights for no reason. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, she does have a point. That is true. That is what's happening here.
Kiếm chuyện cái gì? Em để. Ủa em mất. Em rất là cà chớn. Anh coi nào như.
This is my dad calling my mom a jerk.
Người dân.
This is my sister trying to step in. Okay, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, that is the wrap up of the fight that my family had yesterday and that I got involved in, so I couldn't stream. Tehe. Hehe. Hoo. Let me see. I might have like one more. I don't know if. Let me see. Let me. What's this one? Oh no, we already showed you guys this one. Was this the other one I showed you guys already? Basically, they're just saying. That's why I don't understand about these arguments. It's like the whole point of an argument is that you make your point and then you drive your point in, right? And then you end the argument. My mom and dad, like, they have arguments like someone with like people with like Alzheimer's. Like they just say the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like not even like saying the same thing in like different ways. They say the exact same thing over and over and over again until someone gives up. Man. But yeah, it was definitely like yeah, no, I'm glad I'm not at home anymore. This is why I moved out. Yep. That's not why people argue. People argue for no reason. Sorry, I only involve myself in arguments that I'll win. Or I don't like to waste my time with nonsensical arguments. That's why I just get mad about it on stream instead. Ah, we segue out of the essay about the Asian woman and the white man having sex and something about generational trauma. Anyway, I can't fucking believe that essay won 75K from Stanford. That's fucking insane. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that whole thing was so poorly written. Like, I read erotica better written than this. But glad you turned out not like them. I turned out a little bit like them, I think. I like to eat all the things. I'm like Goldie. Oh, so if you guys think I'm Goldilocks, because remember I tell you guys that like, oh, I can't eat things that are too hot or too cold, you know? My dad is even worse than that. Like if it's too hot by like 1 temperature or it's too cold by like 3 temperatures, and if it doesn't have this and this and this, then the whole world is ending and he's not gonna eat anything else. Was that? Yeah. It was. But anyway, good stream. I'm gonna go find someone to raid now. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Sorry I couldn't stream any longer today. I do have to go get ready now. But I hope you guys have a very wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. Thanks for listening to me yap. I really appreciate it. I hope you eat delicious things today, and I'll try not to get shit-faced too much tonight. Okay, bye! Super Nini, thank you for all the resubs, biddies, raids, super chats, all that good stuff. I'm leaving. Goodbye forever. Goodbye forever. Is there a goodbye in Vietnamese? I don't think there really is. Okay, bye.
Did you just call me British?